Because again, when you talk about expectation, right?
Right.
My expectation of what we have to be. Yes, we obviously want the wins and losses, but like I tell people all the time, I know where the heck I'm at. I know what program I'm in. I know what county, what city, where we are, and I will refuse to let down the Michael Morrises, the Jamie Felixes,
Welcome to the Wildcat Show, brought to you by Bennett Automotive Group. Hi, I'm Calvin Wilson with Explosive Sports Training, and I'm here with Coach Travis Roland of the Camden County Wildcats.
Sir.
Listen, Coach, I have a whole lot different energy after a win.
Me too.
I'm just telling you, sometimes I don't want to come in here after a loss.
At all.
Yeah, but after a win, but that's called accountability. You have to show up and answer the questions. The Tiff County recap, I wasn't here, but I know my partner hit me up. He's like 7-0.
Yeah.
Then
worst start ever too.
But listen,
4 plays.
But listen, 10 seconds later he hit me back. He said 7-7 DC.
DC. Yes, sir.
I said, wow, they kicked it to him. I was like, that is absolutely crazy. But I want to start probably on the defensive side of the ball. What was the difficulties in playing Tiff County? I mean, what we found out.
I think too, it's like I texted with coach, one of the coaches in the region about Tiff, just asking questions, and the thing he said was, scrappy. Tiff hasn't laid down for anybody all year, and I think that's a testament to Coach Littlejohn and what he's building over there. They've got a graduate from here, Coach Barton, over there coaching defense, and I think it shows that they're building a good program. And them kids, they're gonna fight you the whole game. They're not gonna, even though it was the end of the season and they got some basketball players over there and basketball done started.
Yeah,
them kids are like, no, we still want to play.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I think that's a testament to them, to how scrappy they were. And then it's South Georgia football. You're gonna have to tackle. You're gonna have to stop the run. And so they did a good job of doing some things. I think something that all of us on offense are doing now with how we're running zone. I thought they did a good job of coaching some of that stuff up. And once again in this region, you got to make some adjustments. I thought Coach Thompson him and Coach Lester Davis did a good job of getting together, of coming up with some things for us to have some fixes, to be able to get some stops when we needed them. And like I said, we were able to turn them over late and get a scoop and score in the game, late in the game, to kind of get that final separation. But I just thought the Tiff just played hard, man. And they got it's another Region 1 team that had a big offensive line again. That's all we see every single week. So I just thought, they came ready to play and didn't lay down, even though it was the last game of the season for them.
Okay. Who on our defensive side of the ball, who were some players that kind of stood out?
Man, I think the two sophomores played really well for us up front. Daquan Edwards and Jaquarius Hosendorf, a.k.a. Chunky. I thought both of those guys played a good football game for us. And I thought D-line played well in general, making some plays. And we turned them loose a little more than normal, took some of the technicalities away from them. And I thought because we play 6 guys, 3 of the teams we play also. I thought all those guys up front did a good job, especially in the second half, of getting some penetration and making some plays for us, as opposed to being so technically sound. And so I think that the defensive line group helped establish another line of scrimmage and get us better and kind of help us get through that game the way we needed to.
Our producer, director, Kanan, he was just asking about 56.
Yeah, he
who
did.
Is 56?
Yep.
And I want to give him a shout out because 2 games ago, boy, he took a lick.
Yes, he did.
He was cut. He was blooded.
He a part of it now. He done bled on the Chris Gilman Stadium.
But he looked really well.
He does. No, you can't even tell. He looked old, well. And he kept on trucking too. Like I looked up, he had like 5 Band-Aids on his eye, but he had the camera and stuff ready to go. So I was like, okay, he here for the cause. He a true Wildcat for sure.
He is now.
Yes, he is.
When you bleed for him,
you bleed for us, his blood on that turf.
Yes. So okay, now we're gonna go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
Can we look at some highlights of some of the guys and see what went on?
Yep.
Offensively.
Old Jordan Hardy found in his zone again. I think he's second in the region with touchdown carries. Just a tough kid, full of energy, man. He scored a touchdown for us running the football. He had another good game. Went for over 100 again. Like I said, another good job of just making good cuts. And reading some things, and his jump cutting ability, man, and going 0 to 100 is pretty darn good with how he does it. I think he's a special talent in what he's doing and how he's doing it. And then here's obviously, Elias being Elias. trying to do a good job of getting him one-on-one. You know, one of the lost things in this play that you see here is making an adjustment with Antoine going out to empty. You know, we kind of stretch the field. You look up top, we got a hole. It looks like a gadget play coming up top, and then, you know, we go empty with it, making them change the coverage to do our best to get our best player one-on-one. And Parks does a good job giving the ball they can catch. And, you know, it don't matter who you are. You know, you could be 6'3" at corner. That's a 6'7" kid, and that ball's thrown way up top. And, you know, again, he's a 1,000-point basketball scorer. Shout out to Coach Bailey, you know, teaching the guys how to box out. And that's all this is right here, him boxing out and going up and grabbing the rebound.
I'm glad you said that. Now, that was a big part of his recruitment, really, is the basketball, too. Him being able to be a basketball player and rebounding.
Yes, sir.
Because if you can rebound and box out, then you can definitely catch a pass.
Yes, sir. And then, you know, obviously this kid here, David Coleman, man, you know, our center had a snafu. Ball got snapped. Thankfully, DC's ready to play football. And runs his route. Parks, you know, gets a gimme. Sometimes you need those after some of the breaks we've had throughout this bad breaks we've had. We'll take this one. And this is my first time ever in live in color. The referee told me he had to call a tripping call because he literally blatantly trips him to get him down. But DC does get in the end zone there. And then obviously, you know, when you got that text message about it being 7-0, they did something. You know, it's 7-0, 52 seconds into the game. And then, you know, they lined up and kicked the ball to the most dangerous return, man. I'm going to say the Southeast. I'm not even going to say the state of Georgia because I think he sold that up. I'm going to say this is the most dangerous return in the Southeast of this country. And they gave him a shot. And we all know what happens when Mr. Coleman gets a shot. You know, you give him a shot, he's going to make you pay. And that's kind of what he did here again. You know, people are brave, you know, more brave than me.
I hope you continue to be brave. He's not that good. I promise you, kick the ball to the kid.
Please do.
Yeah, please kick it to him if you're listening out there.
So, you know, but again, I think this unit's done a good job, man. There's a bunch of seniors out here on this unit, guys that aren't everyday starters.
Could you stop it right there? Hey, while y'all watching, I want you to watch how it develops. Because it's not just all David Coleman. It's a lot of his teammates is out there. This special team, this kickoff special team, return team has been great all year. I mean, you start with David, and then I guess you finish with David, but everybody up front is doing a job.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to play it. I hadn't seen it from this angle, but I want to see it.
I mean, you got guys, Jacob Vieira at left guard. We got Martinez at center, Donnie Widener at right guard, and what you see is, you know, this is well, you can tell it's end zone shot, middle return. You know, we got multiple returns, and look at it's created right here. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to create. These guys are getting to their blocks. We've got it all sealed off here. We've got it sealed off here with a block there. You know, Hardy has to get in the way a little bit better, but we got a guy held up here, and that's how you create these things. And then Jalen Johnson, who's a return man in his own right, does a good job of getting out in front, sprinting, and then working his rump off to make sure we've got a way to get past there and give him one more block to make it happen.
Hey, I love that you don't, if you look at this, you don't have to get a full pad-on-pad block. You just got to get a piece for this kid here. You get a piece for this kid, and you have to allow him to choose which side he's going to run.
Just got to get
he's great. He's great at doing that.
Yes, sir. That's really all you got to do for him. You know, and then again, David Coleman being electric.
Okay, let's stop right there. Stop this. Okay, so right now, David Coleman is our player of the week, brought to you by Jane Brown, your local State Farm agent here in Kingston, Georgia. DC has got it. I'm gonna stop this right here. We're gonna run it, Coach.
Yes, sir. You know, people been asking the question, when is he gonna play offense? When is he gonna play offense? When is he gonna play offense? And we've had to slowly do it. But you know, when this kid get the ball in his hand, he's electric, man. Just even right there, that his start and stop. You know, when he puts his foot in the ground right there to go, you know, he accelerates and goes, and he's just so strong. Like today, he hang clean 275. You know, and you know, look at the faith Elias has in him. Hand, as soon as he broke, hand already up. Like, oh, I know he's finna score, and that's what that kid is bringing to us as a program, man. It just his ability to get to where he's got to get to. He's doing a phenomenal job. Zach Taylor getting out. I don't think that corner wanted any shot, any piece of that big Cincinnati commit coming out there. Right, very lucky he missed. And, DC did a great job. That safety came over and made a great effort to come and stop him. And this is what you want to see here too, man. This is Camden County up on their feet. Everybody standing up in the second quarter of a game. We're trying to get into the playoffs. So, but again, David Coleman, man, has been electric for us, and we're looking forward to what he's going to continue to do for us. I'm
gonna get a shout out to David Coleman and his family, because his granddad is a track coach, his daddy was a baller, his uncle's a baller, his mama was a baller, his granddaddy on his mama's side was a baller. I mean, he has like a long lineage in Camden County, but he has a long lineage. You said that start and stop.
Yeah,
he's been running track since he's been a little boy, and so I get a shout out to the Coleman and Roberts family over there.
He's proven why track. He's proven why track is important. A lot of guys don't want to do it. I don't want to get embarrassed. You got to get faster. You got to be explosive, and that's what's going to help this kid as time continues to grow. He's going to be so explosive and do a lot of great things in his career.
Right. I think. Everybody want to talk about the playoff game. Right. We'll save that the next week, because I think I want to know about this week, the regimen that we got. Are we getting back to the basics and the one-on-one tackling, the one-on-ones, and just cleaning up some stuff? Because this is a question that I got, people calling me or whatever, is about our discipline. We seem to be a little undisciplined. I mean, can any of that be cleaned up in the off week if it is undisciplined, or if it's just enthusiasm that's going on?
So we got a flag, been on them about enthusiasm and everybody getting to the ball. So oddly enough, we get a flag for breaking it down. We had a tackle for loss, and you see teams now do the whole breakdown. Well, unfortunately, the guy was laying on the ground. They got the break. Referee decided, and they did it all game. When you go back and watch the film, I didn't even know they did it that many times. The referee decided he didn't like it that time, and we got an unfortunate 15-yard on that one. I mean, the rest of some of the stuff was just some procedure stuff. Kids hopping on sides. But you got to figure out the happy place, happy medium of, like, I told the guys, get your break. Just make sure if they down on the ground, move to the side and get your break together. But I think definitely getting back to the base in the bye week. That's how you get healthy. That's two, how you make sure you can lean on the fundamentals. So honestly, breaking it back down to bare basics of what you want to do, not necessarily so much trying to move on to the next opponent, because everybody running the same stuff at this point. Most offenses are very similar in what they're trying to do. We want to make sure we can line up, we can tackle, we can block, we can catch.
Communication. Communication. This is a week that you can take and communicate. You can communicate with one another in the defense.
That's a big piece of it. Being able to communicate, making sure your hand signals are down on both sides, from the quarterback to the receiver standpoint, from the DBs to the linebacker standpoint, being able to communicate when it's loud, because every environment you go in now is going to be loud. So definitely getting back to the basics and trying to get healthy, because, after the 5 battles we done had in a row, it's, we got a lot of guys banged up that need to get some health back to them. And so I think that being able to attack the brain mentally is just as important as being able to attack the body physically. So, definitely getting back to the basics at that point.
And I think this off week or this bye week comes in a great place for us. I mean, you got to think now, our early schedule success, like 5-0.
Yep.
I just got a question, man. I mean, did I don't know, because I hear, you talk to people and it's, you played a week, but did you make that schedule?
No, that wasn't mine. I always say I hate so many home games, because you want to test yourself, on an away environment before you go to our environments. Our environments in Region 1 are like no other, and so you want to always try to test yourself. But it wasn't mine to make, but it was the one we had to go ahead and play, and it was what it was. I think Brunswick was a great test for us. Spruce Creek was a good test for us, but some of the other ones, we were what they were. We had to do what we're supposed to do. When we play against anyone, you know what I mean? And it's funny, I talked to Richmond Hill coach about that during the season. He talked about how last year they played a very weak non-region schedule, and he thought it cost them when they got into region play. And so then this year, I'm rephrasing that, he played a super tough one 2 years ago, and they were beat up coming into region play. Yeah. And so then this year, he kind of tried to find a little happy medium with both of them, and they had success in the region with a big, getting a big victory over Valdosta and things like that. So I think that it's just you have to try to find a happy medium when you're getting ready, because if you do beat yourself up too much, you get into this region beat up, boy, it's gonna show up. And so I think we were able to navigate it and kind of make our way through.
And I think as fans, I think it kind of gave us like, oh man, we make it go undefeated.
Yeah, I saw that in an article somewhere. I was like, slow down.
Some fans go out that way, and then other fans go out like, okay, we'll see when we get to region we get to region 1, and that and that brings doubt, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But okay, now in the region 1, once we got, because this is what we taking this time not to go forward, but to recap. Kind of recap the season. First 5 games, we went 5-0. We step into the region, and I think you knew. I mean, you hear, people say about the region and how tough. I think everybody knows, but I don't know if everybody knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, first of all, we were saying that. I mean, not we, but we as a whole fan base, not just this fan base, but all of Region 1. Was Colquitt was down this year.
First thing I told you. Until somebody beat them.
Yeah,
that's the champ.
And look, them cats end up being the champs.
Yeah.
Now, were they the best Colquitt team I've seen? And I'm not trying to down them for this year, but no. And they were beatable. But when it counted and it was on the field, they won the games to win the region. The first team we faced, and we the only people that faced this team in our region. No, for real. We're the only team that faced a healthy Valdosta team with
old Todd Robinson,
with
baby.
Todd Robinson at quarterback. And it showed. Yeah. It showed up each week after that. It showed up the next week in Richmond Hill when he couldn't play. Yeah. Richmond Hill beat them. Then it showed up the next week. Then it showed up the next week. And it cost them a region title because
his health.
And we faced the team that nobody else faced. Then we come home.
Play Richmond Hill.
And we play Richmond Hill, who beats Valdosta. Then we go back to Lowndes and face a team that, to me, I'm going to be honest, I think they might have been the best team in the region.
Talent, well, everything meets over there right now.
Yeah, they look coaching. Good. Quarterback look good. I mean, as we played them, when we played Valdosta though, that was close. Valdosta and Lowndes, they're close when they both healthy.
Yeah.
It's a close game. Then we come back and play Colquitt County
at home. Yep.
Listen, Colquitt County was a tough team.
Yep.
That ran the ball, that had some trick plays, which were great. They right timing with everything that they done. Then we closed the season when we had to close it with Tiff, and we end up 7-3.
Yep.
Now looking back, all of us looking back, what was the expectations? And I'm talking about us as fans. What was the expectations of this season? 15 new starters. Changing the whole program around. Man, I take 7-3. I'm just telling you, I take 7-3. That's 2 games. I would rather be 8-2.
Amen.
I'm just gonna be honest. I would live with 8-2. I mean, just looking at things from the outside, not being in, but just looking from the outside. 8-2 would be phenomenal in a first year. But 7-3 we'd take. We sneak into the playoffs with the help of Richmond Hill and Colquitt, playing it out. And we go into the playoffs. What was your expectation? And I know everybody said the expectation is region title, state championship, and all that is cool if it can be done. But
when you come to a place like this, man, you understand what you have to do, right? And that's what you talked about earlier was you understood, but did everybody understand? And I think that people forget how, and that's why I told Coach Hobbs this morning. I said, man, when you go back and watch every game, you realize how small the margin for error is in this region in every single game. Because, Tiff, right, they went 0-5 in the region. Well, they lost to Richmond Hill 21-17. They had a touchdown call back. They got they missed a field goal and got one blocked. Like that's a big, like that's 6 points, right? They win the game if those two things, happen for them. They lost to 14-7. And one of the touchdowns they gave up was thinking number one stepped out of bounds, so everybody stopped, and he went in for a touchdown. Yeah. Like there's so many things you could point to. So the margin of error for between wins and victories, or wins and losses rather, is so small. I think my biggest thing coming in was like, obviously winning a region title would be amazing. My thing was in this region, giving yourself an opportunity to get into the dance is always the most important, because after that, not many people are ready for what Region 1 teams bring, right? I think the physicality that the kids in this region play with every single snap, where they're not taking snaps off, that's the piece where I think it bodes well for all of our teams in the playoffs, because we're used to a physical brand of football. In some other places, it's a little more finesse. Even our, zone run, people that's some people look at it as a finesse play. Well, I come watch
the way they run it.
The teams down here in this region run duo in inside zone, and you'll see that it's a lot of power going on in that. And so I think that that's one thing for me. My expectation was just to come in here and continue to play off legacy of the program and continue to put on a good product. And for me, if that turned out to be 8-2, 9-1, 10-0 in the regular season, I'll take that. I just want to make sure we continue to put on a hard-nosed product and a product that look right. So and that's why I say criticism is always fair when it's due, right? And if there's a flag-filled game, criticism is due, because you gotta not have flags, and that's one thing that we pay for in practice. I tell people to come watch it. Like I know somebody called me after one of our losses, was like, I heard they ran 28 sprints. I said, man, it wasn't 28. It might have been like 12 or 15 , but it wasn't 28. But
I think I told somebody that
they have to pay for it.
I think it was me that they gave that. I was like, man, they ran.
You got to pay for it though. Because again, the margin of error is so small. Because just like Friday, we're on the 1 yard line, and we score a touchdown on the play, but we have too many men in the backfield. Well, that drive ended in a missed field goal when we scored on a touchdown. And so you can't have those kind of mistakes, because those ultimately cost you in this region or once you get in the playoff game. So that's where when we talk about back to the basics, simple stuff like that, like let's get lined up in a formation and see if we can do it and snap the ball really fast. So, man, my expectation was coming here and us to do what we're supposed to do.
Hey, man, one thing about it, I mean, I've been around this program since it began in 71, 72 here. My uncle was the running back here, and his mama, he wasn't my uncle then, but his mama used to pick me up as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and I went to every single football game. I know all the coaches. It's only a few coaches that I didn't have a relationship with. Maybe Luther Welch, Jeff Caldwell, Wilton Coffey, not really had a relationship, or Coach Tab. But John Hill, Bill Toms, Jeff Herron, Ralph Pierce, and Bob Spires, all those guys, I had a relationship with these guys. And it's amazing that Bill Toms called me the other day, asking what's going on, how we look, da-da-da. And it don't make me an expert on anything, but I do want to say this, man. I know what it looks like. And once you know what it looks like in a coach and in a program, and I heard you. How long y'all been here, Coach?
I started in March, middle of March, and then Coach Alfred got here in May. For 9 practices. So basically, he didn't get here really until June. So probably been about 4 or 5 months of the new coaches that have been doing new things. Even Coach Thompson's in a different role than he was last year. So been about 4 or 5 months.
Well, I think we're in a good position with that going on, and not because I'm doing this or whatever. Because if it was bad, I'll let you know it was bad.
Oh, I know it.
But this something I went to practice, man. It's probably been about 3 weeks ago. No, it had to been about 4 weeks ago after we played Valdosta. And you made a statement. You made the statement right here. I want you to read that statement.
Oh, wow. I said never again while I'm here in Camden County.
Well, what happened? What happened when we went to Valdosta? What happened? Mentality-wise, this is mentality.
Will we get off a bus and not expect to win? I just felt like we weren't ready to be the most physical, hard-nosed football team.
Time out. That's not what you should say. Why I'm your leader.
Oh, yeah, I did. I said never again while I'm your head coach. While I'm your head coach here in Camden County, will we ever let that again? Because, again, when you talk about expectation, right?
Right.
My expectation of what we have to be, yes, we obviously want the wins and losses, but like I tell people all the time, I know where the heck I'm at. I know what program I'm in. I know what county, what city, where we are. And I will refuse to let down the Michael Morrises, the Jamie Felixes, the Emmanuel Bacons, the Terrence Massey's, guys that run them championship teams. You know, even our own coaches, Bill Brown, Justin Griffith, Coach Roland. I refuse to let those guys down. Where while I'm the leader, the main leader, the head leader of this program, where we don't look like a Camden County football team supposed to look, and I take full responsibility for that. And you know, we could point fingers, but I always tell the kids it started at the top. And if you got off the bus or we looked like we weren't into it, that's on me. And I've got big enough shoulders. My daddy taught me well and good how to be a leader. And so I made sure those kids knew I'm going to coach you in a way to where that's not going to happen. And if we have that even in any of us, we're going to make sure we can make it so hard that those kind of people don't want to be a part of it. Right. Because we have to put on the right product for our people. They show up every Friday. They travel with us to wherever we go. And we could drive 10 hours away, and I still think we're going to have a bunch of people at the game. And so we owe it to them. And that's why I said that as I'm here, we'll never get off the bus like that. Now, if we get beat because other team got a whole bunch of Power 5 cats and they just doing their thing, that's one thing. But us, you know, not looking like we interested, never again. No, sir. No.
Yeah. And that stood out, man. That kind of like that kind of resonated with me because I'm that type of dude. And you know, I get calls all the time, and they asking me questions and stuff like that. And I just thought about this today. Sometimes there's no need to share information with people that already done form an opinion. And some people have already formed an opinion, and like I'm not. That's not what I do. And I don't waste my time talking to people that I don't want to talk to. I'm just telling you now. But hey, Coach, I think next week we'll go into
absolutely
North Cobb and dissect them as much as possible.
Yep.
I got a guy up at North Cobb. He does some work for them, and he told me that they're a balanced team and they're gonna be ready to go. And I said, well, we're gonna be ready to go too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Camden County, let's do it. It's time, playoff time. This when y'all show up. This when we show up. Let's go make a run. Start with next Friday on the 15th. You know, we're gonna get on this road just like we did last year and do the best we can. But I guarantee, you know, when we all together and lock and step together and walking together and doing it the right way, this place here is magical. So I'm looking forward to this first playoff run together as a group.
Well, I think that's it for the day, and thank y'all for joining.
They say they want it, I need it. Damn, I'm going dumb like I dropped out of class. Get in my lane and I'm going right past. I turn it up, watch me go to the max. You ain't it first and you know that you last. I thought I told him I'm coming right back. I got a flows like it came from the tap, and I came from my city, that's right on my back. Oof. Back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed.